It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
I am Des Clark, and this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. Once again, we are joined by some of the best comedians currently on the stand-up circuit. On my right, we have Amy Matthews and Vittorio Angeloni, and facing off against them will be Chris Forbes and Alison Spittle. In the news this week, a chess robot has broken a 7-year-old boy's finger during an international tournament. The match ended in checkmate, which is also what the boy's mum said when asked how she'd like her compensation. A couple of naked cyclists have completed a mammoth 873-mile tour of UK landmarks from Perth to Land's End. After discovering their efforts had raised £3,000 for charity, the pair were said to be totally chuffed. Sorry, chafed. A pioneering drone lifeguard has saved a 14-year-old boy from drowning in the sea in Valencia in Spain. The device was applauded by beachgoers for its innovative safety techniques, but former Baywatch star David Hasselhoff commented, "Aye, but can it sing?" And a fossil of the earliest known animal predator has been named after Sir David Attenborough by the geologist who discovered it. Yes, the 560-million-year-old relic, believed to be the earliest known creature with a skeleton, said he was absolutely delighted. Right, you've met the panel. Let's crack on with round one. This is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess two major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. So, Amy and Vittorio, can you tell me what the first story in the mashup is?
The two Conservative leadership contenders
have come to a grinding halt.
Rishi Sunak is planning to scrap
The RMT's latest strike action.
while Liz Truss says she wants to see a 20% reduction in
Trains.
It's all becoming very clear, isn't it? Amy Matthews, what do you think our first story is?
Is that the Tory leadership race, Des?
Well done. It is the ongoing contest between Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak to become the next Prime Minister and leader of the Conservative Party. So we've got two left in the race to be Prime Minister. Amy, are either of them standing out for you?
Like, as usual, it's like just trying to pick which is like the least worst one, isn't it? Because the choice we've got is between a man who's so off-puttingly privileged, he makes Downton look like Daniel Blake, and like, and a woman who looks like if you gave her porridge, she'd say it was a bit spicy. Like, that's our option.
Vittorio, have you kept up to date with it? What do you make of these two candidates? Are either of them standing out?
I think Liz Truss is kind of head and shoulders above, mostly because Rishi Sunak's about 5'2". Truss, in one of her proposals, like very proudly, she said that part of her campaign is that she's going to get a police officer sent out to the house every time there's a burglary. Was that not happening? Do you know what I mean?
Chris, what do you make about this then? We've got Liz Truss versus Rishi Sunak. We're down to the final two for Tory leader and obviously Prime Minister. Are either candidate standing out for you?
I think with Liz Truss, I think at least with her, you can unplug it at night. So there's some sort of sense of saving on energy bills. She definitely has some sort of robotic qualities. She's kind of like an AI open mic comic at times. More than anyone else, she'll say something mad and then leave a huge pause, expecting people to laugh, and it's always something bizarre.
I feel like, as my father says, they're two cheeks of the same backside, really, you know.
And there we have a great analysis of the two candidates. So they have been obviously serving and working together for a long time, but now they're head-to-head, Truss versus Sunak, and they've been in these head-to-head debates. Alison, did you manage to catch the first head-to-head debate?
I did not, and I'll tell you why. I wouldn't watch it for moral reasons, like I don't watch Love Island. You know, those are vulnerable people being exploited for the public to judge, so I'm not getting involved.
But let's move it off Truss and Sunak. Let's imagine our panel were running for leader. Alison, picture yourself. You're running for leader, but you need that iconic, eye-catching slogan. What's it going to be?
Vote for Alison Spittle. You'll take what you're given.
I think if it was specifically to be a Tory leader, mine would just be a noise that would speak to my contingents. I think I'd just have, like, vote for Chris Forbes. And then all the people out there would be like, oh, yeah, it makes a good point. And everyone would say it all the time. I'd be like, Chris Forbes, he's good with his,
It spoke a lot of sense. In the debates, Liz Truss has been described by many commentators as looking stiff, wooden and deeply uncomfortable, and by Sir Keir Starmer as vibrant, charismatic and totally at ease. And there we go, the Tory leadership race is the correct answer. Amy and Vittorio, well done. You get 2 points for that. And now to you, Chris and Alison. What was the other story we were after?
I'm thinking it's about the strikes. It's
Well.
about the RMT strikes, yeah.
That's the right answer. Yes, it is indeed. This is the latest in a series of 24-hour strikes by rail workers. That is the correct answer. There was massive disruption and over 90% of Scottish train services were cut after more than 40,000 members of the RMT union walked out on Wednesday. Now, people often mistakenly think RMT stands for Rail, Maritime and Transport, but it's actually taken from the ScotRail timetable and stands for round about Monday or Tuesday. So, Alison, obviously we had more rail strikes this week. Were you affected by the strikes?
Do you know what? I'm delighted. I'm looking at Mick Lynch. Like, I don't know whether I admire him or fancy him. I think sometimes I can't tell the difference between either. He's fantastic on the television. He takes down all of the commentary. It's hilarious because he's a working class man and you don't hear many working class people on the news. So it's funny to see the other people that are on the news with him and they get kind of nervous the way a posh person gets nervous in a taxi, do you know, where they don't quite know how to talk to the taxi driver. So they'll put on a little accent and go, "Did you see the football?" You know.
Vittorio, we've seen a number of strikes in recent times. Are they working?
Listen, I think the conversation has changed in the past couple of years, and I think it's really positive. People are realising the power that workers organising and going on strike to get a better life for themselves, the kind of difference it can make. This sentence would have a punchline, but I'm actually on strike for this round, so you aren't getting one till I get a Diet Pepsi.
We'll get that brought to you. Terms will be met. Amy, what do you think about this? You've been affected, as many have. There's been a number of strikes in recent times, but are they working?
No, but what they need to do is take the edge off of how annoying it is that, like, the trains are running late. So there's, like, creative ways to protest and strike. There was a student body in Santiago that, rather than just striking, they went and did a flash mob of Thriller. Now, I'm pitching that the sort of all the sort of train drivers and stuff basically just, like, hold together in, like, Queen Street and do a rendition of something like Nicki Minaj's "Bees in the Trap," but they change the lyrics to "Leaves on the Track." Like, I would absolutely go and see that.
We're obviously talking about union disputes, and negotiations are at the key to all of this. So let's find out from our panel about their number one negotiating tactic. Alison Spittle, what is your number one negotiating tactic?
Crying in public.
Hard recommend.
Yeah, it's the best negotiating tactic. I found talks have definitely opened up once you start crying very loudly in public. I think Grant Shapps should do that. Like, I think I would love to see Grant Shapps on the news going, "Please, Mick, can we sort this out? Man to man. I'm nothing without you, Mick." Mick could be on the phone straight away, they'd get it sorted. Do you know what I mean?
Now that I'm now a father, like, if I'm negotiating a night out, my go-to thing now is always guilt tripping by bringing my daughter into it. But, like, you have to find a nice positive spin on it. So, like, if I'm trying to get a night out to the pub, I have to say, look, this is for Lily's sake. Because I've not been out for so long. I feel like I haven't seen my friends, and so I'm feeling like I'm not the best father I can be. Because I haven't been out and seen my friends, you know?
There is, of course, some good news from these train strikes. Yes, you're now much less likely to get stuck talking to Michael Portillo. Yeah, well done, Chris and Alison. You get 2 points for that. It was the mashup of the latest rail strike and the race to become Prime Minister. And at the end of that round, it's 2 points apiece. Now, much of our news is about public opinion, so this week, to find out what people are talking about, we've spoken to BBC weather presenter Judith Ralston and Herald columnist and political commentator Brian Taylor. So, Chris and Alison, what story do you think Judith is on about here?
It's very sad that this has come to an end because I watched this during my formative years. It's going to be such fun to see some of the old faces returning. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they've all aged, and I've actually met a couple of them.
It's Neighbours, isn't it?
It is. It's the end of Neighbours. Sad news, yes. It's the end of an era. After 37 years and over 8,900 episodes, much-loved Australian soap Neighbours finishes this week. Neighbours was axed earlier this year after Channel 5 confirmed they would no longer broadcast the show. The cast and crew were given the devastating news at lunchtime and, more upsettingly, had to go back and have it repeated just after tea. Alison, what about you? Are you sad to see it go?
I'm sad to see it go, but I'm also shocked. I watched Neighbours about 20 years ago, and there was a character called Toadfish in it.
Yes.
He's still in it.
Wow.
He's in Neighbours that long that he's developed legs and has now moved out of the lake.
I've actually seen the evolutionary process.
Yes. Yeah.
Is there still a place for soap operas? What do you think about this thing, Chris?
I think there is, personally, but only because there's so much now, as you say, so many different televisions. There's a lot of hard-hitting drama. There's a place then to be able to switch off in a soap opera where they mix the absolute mundane with the completely absurd. It doesn't exist anywhere else. Like, if we were neighbours and people would be watching me just going round to your house going, "Hey, Des, look at your grass, man, it's looking good. Are you going to get out of the beach today?" And then people just chatting about, "Oh, what did you get in the shop? A loaf of bread? By the way, I'm your stepbrother and your father's my aunt." What? By the way, Harold Bishop's back for the 5th time. He's not dead. And it's just, "I'll see you down the calf." Like, what? It's
Can I just compliment you on your Essex accent? It's beautiful. Yeah.
But how did this show get axed? It's amazing. Amy, what about you? What do you think about this? So obviously the way we're watching TV has changed a lot. Do you think there's still a place for soap operas?
I just think it's been sort of replaced by a different thing. I think the appeal of soaps was that there's this sort of smorgasbord of other people's fictional lives that was like quite badly written, and now we've just got Twitter.
Look, I don't watch them, but they do launch some cool careers. Like the Minogue sisters came out of Neighbours. Like, that's good. But the whole industry's spinning around, and like society's...
Strap in.
Society's moving forward like a locomotion. But to be honest, Neighbours, I just can't get you out of my head. That's all. That's it.
Yeah. So none of Danny Minogue's hits in there?
Name one Danny Minogue song.
You should be so lucky. Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan will return as Scott and Charlene one last time in the Neighbours finale. Also returning to the soap's big send-off will be Guy Pearce as Mike and Bouncer as Jason Donovan's hairpiece. Yes, the Neighbours finale is the right answer, and 2 points go to Chris and Alison. So to you, Amy and Vittorio, what do you think Brian is talking about here?
You know what? He definitely knows what's going on. Sits there in the corner as if butter wouldn't melt, but you can just tell he's judging me. And the snooty look. Oh, well done. You've finally worked out. I like the sausage better than the mince. But he's great too. Your best friend.
There was a piece of research came out that dogs have an instinct for human kindness.
That is the right answer. Well done. According to a major new study, dogs are able to understand human intentions and can tell the difference between clumsiness and meanness. Researchers say it shows how pets are sensitive to subtle actions from their owners and adjust their behaviour accordingly. Amy, what do you make of these findings?
Yeah, I think it's quite humbling. It's nice to know. You know, scientists have really had their sort of day in the sun in the last couple of years, haven't they? I don't know if you guys heard, but it turned out laughter isn't the best medicine, science is. As we all found out, it's kind of nice and comforting to know that there are like slightly crap scientists as well. Like some of them like woke up and ended a global pandemic, and other ones woke up and sort of fed ham to some dogs.
Listen, I love this. You know, some people are a bit cynical, saying this seems mad that scientists are out there doing this research. But what people don't know is, just like many other types of things, products, experiments, they test things out on animals before they test them out on humans. So they've tested out if there is an instinct for human kindness here within these dogs, and then the same team are now going to test Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss to see if either of them have an instinct for human kindness, and that's hopefully going to sway the leadership debate.
So obviously we're talking about the connection between an owner and a pet, but let's find out if we have a panel of pet lovers and ask them this question: what pet will you never forget? Vittorio.
I had a goldfish called Bob when I was younger, and we used to live next door to this family, and they had wee triplets who were like toddlers, and they'd obviously heard of the concept of feeding the fish, feeding Bob. So they were in the kitchen one day where the fish bowl was, and I went into the living room to get something. Then I came back into the kitchen, and they'd put an entire packet of Weetabix into the fish bowl. Which was, I think that was Bob's like BP oil spill. Like that was
So Alison, what pet will you never forget?
Oh, Lucky. That was the name of my dog. I found Lucky in my estate. He was a stray. And I looked at him. He was a real interesting dog, because what he would do is he would get his front legs and he would crawl, right? And his back legs would be left behind. And he looked like he was a little person, like a commando army person, you know? And I looked at that and I was like, you've the spirit of a soldier. But what he had was worms.
There you go.
Yeah, it's amazing. His curse was his gift, like, because I adopted him straight away. He did get hit by a car 2 years later.
Yeah.
And I put Lucky on a cross, and I put the cross where he was hit at a roadside.
Did I hear that right? You put him on a cross?
No, the name Lucky.
Oh my God.
Hasn't he suffered enough? He died for other dogs' worms.
It's fine. He came back 3 days later. It was
Now we know why he's called Lucky. Yes, the news that dogs are able to understand human intentions is the right answer. 2 points goes to Amy and Vittorio. You're tuned to Breaking the News on BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark. Now, this round is all about who is in the news. So I will play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So Amy and Vittorio, you're first this time. Who is this?
So they'd spend a lot of their money drinking and singing and having a good time at the weekends. Everybody would have to do their wee bit, have to do their turn. And most of my family thought they were Frank Sinatra, whether they were male or female.
Is it Lulu?
You're absolutely right. Yes, former Eurovision winner Lulu has called for the competition to be held in her hometown of Glasgow next year. It comes after organisers announced the contest would not be held in Ukraine due to the ongoing war in the country and would instead be hosted by the UK. Now, Eurovision presenters usually have to be bilingual. A disappointment to Lulu, who's been told switching accent mid-sentence doesn't count. What do you think, Vittorio? Difficult circumstances, but are you excited to see it coming back to the UK?
I think it is the UK entry, but it's England's thing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And it was so funny last year as well, because they thought they had it. English people thought they had it because they don't have any idea what anyone else thinks about them around the world. No offence, Amy. Halfway through the last Eurovision, England were top of the table, the UK top of the table, right? And English people were going, oh my God, we're top of the table. We're going to win. It's only the public vote left. Guys, come on. Have a think, okay? But also, coming back to the Lulu thing, Lulu was asked what the maximum number of points a country can award on Eurovision was, and she said 20.
Chris, what do you make about this then? We heard Lulu talking about the return to the UK of Eurovision. Are you excited that it could be coming back? Well, that is. Are you excited that it's coming back to the UK?
Very excited. But what I would disagree with Lulu on is not in Glasgow. I'm a big fan of the idea that it could potentially go to Aberdeen, who are putting a bid in.
They've got a great setup for it in Aberdeen.
I think it's got to be Aberdeen, but only if they get a local guy from Aberdeen to host it. And it's got to be done in kind of a thick Doric accent. Just so we have someone going, fit like for about your fay, we got a bra night here for you, we got a couple of twa lasses from Romania, Takawa!
Amy, we're talking about the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know it can be pretty unconventional. What's the weirdest event you've been involved in?
I once did a radio show where, I don't know, like I was the only English person being bullied. That was quite weird. No, I don't
You're
know.
English?
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't understand. Just your accent's very thick.
I've been to a cow beauty contest. So it was a beauty contest for cows. They put Vaseline on the cows to make them shiny. And they put mascara on the cows' eyes to make them have big eyelashes. It was at the Oldcastle Agricultural Fair. And there was also, I was a judge, but not at the cow beauty contest. But I did judge Ireland's floweriest potato. So...
And well done, that was the right answer, of course. Lulu is one of a number of household names to become involved in the debate about where next year's Eurovision Song Contest should be held. The bid for Cardiff to host the event is being led by Bucks Fizz, whereas Glasgow's pitch is being supported by Buckfast. Well done, 2 points go to Amy and Vittorio. That was, of course, the voice of Lulu. Right, Chris and Alison, it's your turn now. Who is this and why are they in the news?
When the third goal went in, you start believing, obviously. But, yeah, the game becomes blurry when it's that much excitement, that many emotions. Like, an incredible night, an incredible atmosphere again from the fans.
I believe that's Beth Mead.
It is indeed. It is England forward Beth Mead who scored again on Tuesday night as the Lionesses beat Sweden 4-0 to book their place in Sunday's Euro 2022 final. Have you been following the tournament, Amy?
I haven't, and that's the truest meaning of equality, isn't it? That I get to be as uninterested in women's football as I am men's football. But no, of course, it would be genuinely amazing. Like, I think it's really great to have exposure to a field that has historically been dominated by men. I think it's great to give women the confidence to go into those spaces. I think we'll see more of that, you know. I think we'll start seeing women doing more things that have historically been dominated by men. Like, I think we're really, like, lagging behind on, like, the whole heinous crimes thing. I think we could probably do a bit more of that. Like, we should probably, like, start wearing T-shirts that say things like, don't touch my daughter or my barbecue. You know, like those sort of fun little... Or, like, start using shower gel that smells like power and ash. You know, I think we need to sort of start occupying those spaces a bit more.
Yeah, obviously we're talking about a great sporting achievement, and there may be an even bigger one for the Lionesses this weekend. But let's find out how sporty our panel is this week. What would be your greatest sporting achievement, Alison?
So my first greatest sporting achievement was realising that I could boil my own egg before doing the egg and spoon race. I think it was my first ever frisson with doping.
Historically, I was a basketball player and actually represented Scotland, the basketball team. So I guess really my greatest historical sporting achievement has been being tall, really.
You're very good at it.
You know, and I excel at that, being tall, basketball and changing light bulbs.
Vittorio, what about you? What's been your greatest sporting achievement?
I once nutmegged Clive Anderson.
Oh. Okay,
that's all right.
Please, backstory.
I play in what is essentially a geriatric comedians football game in London. It's me, Clive Anderson, David Baddiel, Angus Deaton.
And do you drop the ball as much as you drop their names?
Oh! goodness. I would have taken it from one of the Scots. Honestly, I would have.
Yes, this weekend, many Scots will be settling down to enjoy the summer's big final, Love Island on ITV2. Beth Mead is, of course, the right answer, and 2 points go to Chris and Alison. And it's time now for our final quickfire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. So I will read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
Are you ready for this?
There you go. That's Sophie Rayworth there giving me a wee pep talk before the show today. Right, let's do it. Fingers on buzzers. And here we go. 29% of Brits say they're unsure about what? Vittorio?
Which bit of the washing machine drawer the detergent goes in? It's different every time, I don't know.
29% of Brits say they're unsure about what? Amy?
Why the other 71% are so sure?
Yeah, what's to be so sure about? 29% of Brits say they're unsure about what? Chris?
Today's Wordle.
That pause in the middle there was very Liz Truss. 29% of Brits say they're unsure about what? Alison?
Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's marriage.
I can give you the right answer to this one. It is this. 29% of Brits say they're unsure about ever getting married.
Are you ready for this?
Oh, there we go. That is the klaxon. Sophie has Rayworth. That means it's all over. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Amy Matthews and Vittorio Angeloni. And commiserations to Alison Spittle and Chris Ford. And we'll leave you with the breaking news. Breaking news. Just in, the space jacket worn by Buzz Aldrin whilst flying to the moon has sold at a New York auction for $2.8 million. What a waste of money. It's not even that cold in space, said a hen party from Bathgate. A man in Horsham who kept forgetting his Tesco club card got the QR code tattooed on his arm, while his wife, who got a more discreet tattoo, got caught displaying an unexpected item in the bagging area. And Brad Pitt turned up at the Berlin premiere of his new film Bullet Train wearing a linen kilt. And for those wondering if the Hollywood sex symbol went through Scotsman, the answer is yes. He was also totally blutered. The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye!